Hey folks, Matt from artoftheimage.com. Got a great question in here from Zabo. I think that's how you say that. Zabo Saba. Hope I'm saying that right. He says, by the way, this is something I'm quite confused about. Sorry for being so simple-minded. How do these mirrorless cameras, Panasonic, Sony, Fuji, etc., work with these lens adapters? So this is a question that came in subsequent to when I was talking, I think, about the Photo-C lens adapter. Do they support AF, and can they adjust aperture on every AF capable lens? So if you put on the adapter on the G85, so the Panasonic G85, and let's say a Nikon AFS lens, does it handle it just as if you were using it on a Nikon body, or are there any limitations? That's a good question. And I have so far haven't got into spending money on a fully automated adapter such as the Metabones. The adapters you've seen me using and talking about have been, in general, my dumb adapters. That's what I like to call them, because they don't continue any of the electronic functions. In other words, no autofocus and no exposure relay. There's no electronics transmitted at all. It's just a dumb adapter in the sense that it allows you to physically mount the lens to the camera, and then if you're using like a G lens, you don't have control over the aperture from the camera then. That's why I like AFD and previous old manual focus lenses, because you got the aperture ring. So that's what I'm doing with those type of adapters, is you're physically setting the aperture through the aperture ring on the lens, and then you are using the manual focus ring to do your focusing. That's what the dumb, as it were, adapters, or I guess there's probably a better term for that. That just tends to be what I call them. You're interested more and asking more about the fully electronic adapters, such as what you can get from Metabones. And they make a couple different ones. You've got ones that will just carry through the autofocus and the all full electronics for you, so that, for instance, you could take Canon lenses and use them on Sony cameras just as well as if they were on a Canon camera. So yes, they have full autofocus abilities. They work very well. Allows you to. It's just like you're using a Sony lens on a Sony camera, except you can use your Canon lenses on them. Now, they also have lenses which allow you to gain like a stop or more in light. So they have, they act like a magnifying glass for light. So you'll get a lens on there. Say you put an f1.8 lens and you use one of these adapters, depending on the specifics of the adapter, you could turn it into like an f1.4 lens. So, and those are some more specified, more specific, more specialized, I guess is the word I was looking for, adapters that allow you to not only maintain some autofocus and whatnot, maintain those electronic functions, but they also have the advantage of being speed boosters. So they make your lens faster, which is quite interesting. Now, my good friend Peter Gregg loves these things. He has the Metabones, and he uses it, and he really likes it. You could check out his channel if you want and see some of his videos on using those. They don't tend to be cheap. I guess that's all relative too, because I mean, spending $500 or $600 on an adapter that you're going to use on your whole system. Some people swear by these things and love them. I haven't invested in that yet, and I'm not saying not to. It's just not something I've done yet. I've been really enjoying my older manual focus lenses, which the speed booster would still be an advantage, but the autofocus adapter doesn't do anything for me on a manual focus lens. So to be able to get the Photo-C adapters for $12 and $15 and whatnot has been great for me. Now, so to answer your question, yes, you can control everything on every AF lens. I think you need to look at each individual adapter you're looking at and see what the specifics are. Like if you go to the Metabones website and see at each individual adapter, they'll give you what it works with, what it doesn't, and things like that. I don't think there's any generalization you can say there. I wouldn't say yes, it works with every AF lens, because I think I've seen lists of the ones it works with and doesn't. Now, I'll throw that back out to the audience. For those of you that have like a Metabones or any of these other fully automated adapters, am I correct on that? Let me know. Let's help out Zabo. Fill us in a little bit here. Is there lenses that it doesn't work with for you? Is there ones that you've been surprised that it didn't work with? And what lenses work the best for you? What are you shooting? Do you have, are you shooting Canon lenses on Sony bodies? That seems to be one of the most popular things to do with these adapters. I'm not entirely sure. I know at one point they were working on the Nikon adapter, but I think you still couldn't get a Nikon fully automated autofocus adapter. Now I'll have to check into that. And again, maybe some of you folks can speak to that if that is available yet. And if it is and you have it, let us know in the comments below how that's working for you. As I said, I've been happy with my let's call them manual adapters for manual focus, and you use the manual aperture ring on the lenses. So I hope that gives you some answer to your question, and hopefully some of our viewers will write in and fill you in a little bit more on the adapters they're using and their experience with them, give you a little bit more fuller, broader width of information on this. And I really probably should get a Metabones in here and have a play with it on the G85, for example, and just see how it works and whether I like it or not. As I said, I've been pretty happy with the Photoseas up till now, but I should get my hands on one and play with one. So I hope that answers your question somewhat, and hopefully our viewers will fill you in experience-wise. Leave your comments below, folks. Really would like to hear from you. I'm curious myself on this subject because it's not something I haven't played with the Metabones or any of the autofocus adapters yet. So I shouldn't say any of them. I did own one of the early Sony ones that allowed you to use their to mount to back when it was still an NEX camera, you could put the older lenses that were autofocus onto the NEX lenses. So, and it didn't work that great. It worked, but it wasn't fast. Whereas like these new Metabones adapters, from what I understand from my friend Peter, from his experience, and from reading on it, it's as fast as using it on a Canon camera. Anyways, thanks for your feedback, folks. Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for your questions. Stay tuned. We'll be back soon here at artoftheimage.com.